you're all really well today. It's another foundation review today. I can't really call this a first impression video because I have used this foundation before in a sample. I had 2 different shades. This was before I set up my YouTube channel, so I didn't film it. And I didn't really get on with it. It's the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. And since starting my channel and starting to watch, lots more people, I kind of got the impression that it's loved in the community for people with skin like mine, oily, for covering blemishes, that kind of thing. And I thought, well, I don't really remember much about it, so maybe I need to give it another shot. Something else I also found out is it's better to apply it with a beauty blender or sponge rather than a brush. And I used a brush, and I think that was one of the things I didn't like about it. It didn't seem to blend particularly well. So I've got my beauty blender all ready to go. I've got the sample here, which I think was in shade 46, but I'll put something on screen just to confirm that. But here it is. It's a very thick, highly pigmented foundation, which apparently is great for oily skin. So I'm going to persist with it. I thought it was worth trying again. Because, I have tried a lot of foundations recently, and I'd rather pay out a little bit for a sample and get something to try than just, kind of fully commit to something I'm not 100% about. My face is freshly washed and moisturised. I'm not going to put any primer on like I do usually with my foundation reviews, and we'll just pop some on and see how it goes. I think I'll start with half of my face and then we'll just have a bit of a comparison to see how it's looking. Apologies about my hair today. I had it cut and it's kind of gone into shock and it's gone a bit fluffy, so I've just tried to, do something with it. Anyway, so to talk you through what's going on my face, if you're new to my channel, I mentioned this in my other foundation reviews that I've done, but I suffer with some sort of pigmentation issues across my forehead, which I think is largely sun damage. I am acne prone in the chin area. I'm just getting over a breakout at the moment, which was caused by a skincare product, which fortunately was only a sample, so that's gone now. But that's all healing. But nothing hugely, to report in terms of anywhere else. So there's not too much to cover up, but there's a few, in terms of the spots that I have got healing, there's a few things there that need help. So let's do this. Okay, so like I said, I think I'm just going to pop this on half of my face initially. Because it is quite pigmented, I'm going to try and dot this around as best I can. I remember this being quite difficult to blend, which was one of the reasons why I wasn't too keen on it, because I do like to use a brush to blend, but we'll give it a go with the beauty blender. Okay, so that's that first lot on my face. I can't remember if I mentioned it, but I haven't put any primer on because I just want to see how this performs on its own. I think you can see the difference. I think I can see the difference in the viewfinder. See, it's smoothed everything out. It's still quite tricky to blend with the beauty blender because it is such a thick, texture. It's quite difficult to describe, but I think that seems to have gone on a little bit better than when I used the brush. And I think colour-wise it's looking pretty good actually. I think it's matching the rest of me okay. So that's like before and after. I think what I might do before I move on to this side, I'm just going to build it up in a few areas just so that we can get a really good comparison of how well it does build up in the areas that I need it to, which for me is largely the chin area. hopefully this is showing up quite clearly that you can see where the divide is. You probably noticed that I took ages to try and blend my nose, and what it's kind of done is, I mean, I don't really suffer from blackheads, I don't think. I mean, maybe I need to... Okay, yeah, maybe I need to do something about my nose. I can't say I've noticed that recently, but I'm noticing that I've got some really horrible pores on my nose, so I need to do something about that, I think. But it's just that the foundation kind of highlighted it. It's really hard to blend. Really hard to blend. Oh, that's a bit better. Kind of mushing it around a bit. Oh dear. The things we do, hey? Wow, that's loads better. It was accentuating my pores really badly on my nose, but actually kind of mushing it around, I guess you're just pushing the product in a lot more. I'm aware of how stupid this probably seems. That's worked a lot better. So that's half of my face done. Didn't do a fantastic job of covering my chin area. I've got other foundations that I've tested recently that have done a better job of hiding this area. So I think I'd probably want to use concealer there. Let's do the other side of my face. Okay, that is pretty much the rest of my face done. I haven't completely finished because I just wanted to zoom in and show you what I mean about the nose situation. Okay, so hopefully this is going to show up, but this is the side that I've done, and you can see that there are like hardly any pores are visible at all, whereas on this side, sorry, this is really gross, I didn't realise my nose was so bad. I have got quite a few pores and blackheads visible. I'm so shocked and embarrassed. Right, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm just going to try and use the tiniest little bit because you don't need very much of this. Okay, so if I stop here, I've blended that a fair bit, and you can see that I've still got some pores showing. So if I just use the technique I did before of kind of rolling it and mushing, and if you have a look now, it's actually covered that area really well considering how yucky it was looking. So apologies if that grossed you out a bit, but it's scientific, it's necessary. I look really pale. I always feel like this when I film a foundation review. I look in the viewfinder and it looks really pale. Does it look that pale in real life? Maybe a touch. I'm just going to use up the rest of what was on my finger after doing my nose. I still feel like I need concealer on my chin area, just purely because it's still quite visible, but in terms of everywhere else, it's feeling quite nice. It's blended a bit better than how it did with the brush, but that is quite a tough foundation to blend because it doesn't really move that much. But it's the performance really that we're after. I mean, if it's going to perform really well, as long as you can kind of blend it and it takes a while, then we can kind of put up with that. But anyway, I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to finish the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. Okay, so that's the rest of my makeup done. One thing I noticed when I was putting the rest of my makeup on was that it was quite difficult to blend my blush over the top. The brush kind of felt like it was dragging on the top of my skin. It feels ever so slightly sticky to the touch, but nothing like some other foundations that I've been trying recently. I did put some concealer on my chin and just this tiny little part of my eyes, just because I didn't feel that it covered those areas particularly well. But I mean, it looks okay, it feels okay, it doesn't feel too choking even though it is quite a sticky, thick formula. We shall have to see how it wears. I don't know what you guys think in terms of colour match or coverage or anything. Let me know in the comments what you think. But yes, I will check back in with you as and when I feel necessary, like if I'm having any issues with it kind of separating, or if I have any extreme oiliness. Otherwise, if I have no issues, I will check in with you at the end of the day. I have put this on fairly late in the day because it's a lazy day that we're having today. I put it on probably about 11:30 this morning. So anyway, I will see you guys later. Okay, so this is my final check-in. I didn't bother checking in earlier on because there wasn't really much else to report. It has kind of settled into pores quite a lot, and it's also clung onto dry areas quite badly as well, and I don't tend to have many dry areas. In terms of oiliness, I think it has on the whole controlled oil really well. My forehead is feeling a bit tacky, but it's not too bad. I would say it has controlled oil really well. It's okay. It's an alright foundation. I've definitely tried better ones recently. You know, it's certainly no holy grail for me, unfortunately, but I think it didn't give amazing coverage in some areas where I needed it. I think I've got other foundations that do a better job of covering up, particularly my chin area where I had to use extra concealer. So yeah, just pretty meh really. It definitely is a good one from an oiliness point of view, but how it's performed in other areas I just don't think it's good enough for me. So anyway, it is time to sign off. It's reached that time of the evening where everything goes a bit crazy, but I hope everyone is well and I will see you again soon. Bye! If you told me I'd be featuring this in my best and worst of beauty, and the fact that I absolutely loved it, I would be really amazed, because I hated this when I first got it. I really hated this, but I absolutely love it now.